Trust yourself, I heard. It was only my third time trying to read a stranger's Akashic record. I keep getting stuck on what this client's starseed origins are. What planet this soul had their first lifetimes on. This is a major component to an Akashic record reading. It just doesn't make sense. Why isn't it coming up like it had for the other two Akashic records I had channeled with ease? Am I doing something wrong? I wondered aloud. It's not known, I heard in response. What do you mean it's not known? Are you sure? How is this possible that I, inadvertently, stumbled upon an unknown place so soon after starting to do this? I was then led to a constellation that no known starseed groups at the time had come from before. Since this experience, I have continued to read for many Akashic record reading clients whose souls originated from this planet and have since unlocked memories from their past lifetimes there. This tests the information that I've channeled and I'm presenting here. I must say, my first discovery was a big one. It's my honor to introduce you to Alderman, the planetary origin of Jesus Christ. Hello, my name is Erin and welcome to the channel. This is the very first installment of the series, introducing humanity to previously unknown alien races. It is appropriate that I'm starting this YouTube journey with this group. It is their choice to be featured first because this group are experts in creation and love to create new planets, new paradigms, and new spiritual understandings throughout the universe. They were the first unknown ET group to introduce themselves to me, hence starting my own epic journey of universal discovery. And over the years, I have communicated with beings from this planet and visited there through astral travel and experienced life there. Alderman is part of the Cephus constellation, and the Bayer designation for this planet is Alpha Cephei, as it is the brightest star in this large constellation. The Johann Bayer system of naming stars was developed in the 1600s and is the most common naming system today for stars, which are often planets that sustain life. This system uses the Greek letters to notate how bright a star is within its constellation. Alpha being the letter used for the brightest star, the second being beta, third gamma, and so on. Some planets also have proper or Arabic names. Alderman is the Arabic name also given to the star Alpha Cephei. Alderman in Arabic means right arm of the king, and Alderman is literally placed at the right shoulder of King Cephus when the Cephus constellation pattern is depicted visually in artwork. King Cephus is an integral figure in Greek mythology, as he was the father of Princess Andromeda and married to Queen Cassiopeia. So yes, the planet is placed quite literally at the location of the right arm of the king. But I have found that this inference may have a broader meaning. So who would be considered the celestial king in the heavens? The king of the universe could be surmised as God, the creator, or source energy itself. Could it be presumed that Alderman is the right hand of God? This planetary name and sky position is not by mistake or by coincidence. It will become more apparent as I discuss the Alderman beings and what role they provide in our universe. Aldermans do have their own name for their planet, but they are fine with us on Earth calling them Aldermans. This ET group is very interested in Earth, and many were a part of creating the Earth itself. Aldermans, as a race, are quite involved in realm or planetary creation in general and in spiritual teaching and advancement. The Aldermans are a humanoid race, meaning they look very similar to us on Earth. However, they are taller and there's less diversity in their appearances, unlike the human beings here. The average Alderman adult is 7 to 8 feet or 215 to 245 centimeters tall. All Aldermans I have seen are Caucasian brunettes with some variation in the darkness of their hair. All men and women wear their hair long, and men do not trim their beards. The elder Aldermans, who are very well respected in their society, will present with gray hair and beards, if male. Regardless of age, they all look to be very healthy and vibrant. The clothing I only ever see them in are long white robes that have hoods in the back. The robes are so long that I don't usually see their feet, but they do wear sandals. I rarely see an alderman being alone. It's like they are always in groups. These beings have a very calm and kind manner about them. I don't feel as they look down upon me as a lesser or a low dimensional being. There's no judgment from them. And they have like soft edges to their personalities. They are very gentle and loving in their interactions. This is not to say that aldermans are easily manipulated or don't stand up for themselves if when wronged. They do so in a loving way. They also feel very expansive and limitless in how they approach their lives. I suppose that's a natural side effect of being, so involved in creation after all. The aldermans would know better than anybody how limitless and expansive creation can be. These beings seem to be very good at manipulating energy with their hands, and it's like they don't really need to physically touch things or each other unless they want to. While they can and do speak out loud as we do communicate, they mostly speak to each other telepathically. The planet is and has always been in the 12th dimension. Alderman is not ascending like we are currently dealing with on Earth. Traveling amongst a realm that is so dimensionally high feels incredibly light, like gliding along even though my feet are touching the ground. While unfortunate situations can still occur in such a high dimensional space, there's enough societal knowledge and spiritual knowledge and love throughout their population to overcome any issues in the best possible way for the best possible outcome. Alderman society does have leadership, like a leadership board, but they're not controlling in the daily lives of those who live there. The decisions the leaders make on behalf of their population is solely for the benefit of those living there. So no individual or special interests interfere with their leadership choices. Because of this completely ethical, simple, and loving form of governance, many issues on this planet are dealt with promptly and devoid of much suffering from the populace. The Alderman family structure is like ours. The parents live with their young children in one home, and there are usually several separate homes, though, that are close together, but no shared walls. Instead, I see this thin silver metallic antenna that bends and attaches to the center of the top of the roofs of the homes in that section. And this enables some sort of communication between these homes. The grandparents or elders of that family will have their own house within that group. When the children grow up and have their own families, they usually stay within the family house group, but have their own space. Sometimes non-blood related individuals will live in these group homes because they are good friends or very close with the rest of the family there. Outside the city centers, they live with their families in simple, somewhat boxy structures. They're not particularly big structures. Maybe the smallest would be like 750 square feet, and the largest maybe 2,000 square feet. That's 70 square meters to 186 square meters. It kind of depends on how many aldermans would inhabit that home. Some may choose to live in their own home alone for a time, but that is uncommon. In their homes, there's lots of sliding doors that kind of let sunlight in. Think like a traditional Japanese style of houses. These sliding doors and walls that partition the rooms don't have handles on them, but they kind of place their hand near the edge of the door without touching it, and the door smoothly slides open. They do the same to close the doors. And there's not a lot of stuff around. There's no clutter. The homes seem to be somewhat minimalist. The floors are a light tan color and are both firm and soft at the same time on bare feet. It also seems to have some sort of radiant heat in the flooring, so it's slightly warm to the touch. It's not carpet, it's not hardwood, almost foam-like, but I don't have an exact comparison on it. The ceiling is opaque, but still lets natural light through. Each ceiling will have a vortex swirl pattern or a geometric pattern etched in it. And I'm told that each pattern is unique to each home and the inhabitants who live there. It's like their own familial energetic signature in the ceiling. And these ceiling designs are connected to the antennas that I talked about earlier. Each home will have its own altar or prayer area where they kneel on a mat and meditate while bowing their heads slightly with their hands together in prayer position. The aldermans are not forced to do this by practice or by law, but spirituality and love and gratitude is so ingrained in their culture that's something that they want to do. When I asked the question, do the aldermans get married like we do on earth? The response I received was, quote unquote, what is mine is everyone else's. So there's no money there, so there's no assets to protect. Therefore, marriage is not seen as a business arrangement like it is on earth. There's no paperwork or certificate. Simply a spiritual ceremony is performed, joining these two souls together in that lifetime. Yes, it is seen as joining two souls who love each other, and as a result, a joining of two families. But they're not arranged marriages in how we perceive them on earth, but arranged in a sense that the two aldermans will recognize on their own that their souls are meant to be together. So most aldermans will choose to get married, but not all, as it's not mandatory. Aldermans do not have to eat regularly to survive like we do. In fact, eating is more done for pleasure in the taste and as a ceremonial or celebration. So, like, come over for a visit and we'll have some fun, we'll eat some food kind of thing. When they do eat, it's more fruits and vegetables locally grown. They show me that their food that grows from their agriculture is super delicious and eat raw. They don't need to cook it or season their food like we do. No kitchens are needed in their homes. I never saw any kitchen. They do drink water to hydrate themselves. And for celebrations, aldermans drink some sort of fermented fruit drink, kind of like red wine. But they made sure I understood they don't drink this fermented drink to excess, just a little. The planet Alderman is 1.5 times the size of Earth and does have a sizable population living there currently. The realm is so much older than Earth. Most of the land on Alderman looks like it's covered what we would call as sand, but I'm told it's not sand. So we would call it like a desert. There are trees sprinkled around, but not a lot of forests. The trees are individual. It's not like cactuses though. We think in a desert, but leafy trees and some are flowering trees. It's temperate there, but not super hot like a desert would be. They have reddish brown mountain ranges, and there are green forests in smaller areas of the planet. They have big oceans and smaller ocean style lakes, even though these lakes have currents and waves in them. I have been told that the high vibrational crystal we call saphrodite or sintamani is what many of the Alderman mountain ranges are made of, and they use that stone frequently in their architecture. Aldermans do utilize advanced technology, but it doesn't seem to be a large part of their lives. Most of the tasks they need to accomplish in a day, they can do with their expert understanding of how to use their energy and their minds. I never see a lot of gadgets or things with blinking lights around, whether it's in their homes or even in their cities. I would argue they are beyond needing much technology as we on Earth understand technology to be. However, they do have spaceships for UFOs. Aldermans have airships that travel around their own airspace as well as travel to other worlds. Their ships are dark silver, metallic, and smooth. And the bottom of the ship is flat and seems to glide over the air silently, despite how large these ships look. Their ships remind me of an elongated arrow shape and reminds me of an iron, like we used to iron our clothes, that shape, that flat bottom, and the remainder of the structure kind of built to a smaller footprint on top of that. So what do these big spaceships run on? Well, these ships, like most other alien ships, run on the energy that's naturally present in the atmosphere. It is the ultimate clean and renewable energy source that all realms have access to, including Earth. The Alderman ships do not land or come too close to Earth. The Aldermans themselves do not physically visit our planet. However, they do send helpful energies our way. The Emerald City is depicted in the background of this artist rendering, and is the largest and most populous city on planet Alderman. Despite its name, the city is not green, nor does it have any connection to the Wizard of Oz. Green is the color of the heart chakra, and hence the color of divine love. Love is of paramount importance in their society, and that's why they refer to their largest and capital city of their planet, the Emerald City. The city is bustling with activity, with people going from one place to another, but there remains an element of calm and stillness amongst this busyness. There's no honking of car horns or people being rude to one another. In fact, I've never seen anything that looks like a car or a small vehicle there. The aldermen are always walking from place to place within the city. And the Emerald City is filled with stunningly beautiful skyscrapers that have like a Middle Eastern style, or buildings that are somewhat reminiscent of Moscow, Russia's St. Basil's Cathedral in Red Square. However, the colors used in their buildings are in more muted and golden tones. The leadership board I mentioned earlier is located there in a special building that is open to all. It doesn't feel elitist or exclusionary. Many spiritual schools are located there, and the aldermen will go there to study an aspect of spirituality in more depth. There are also energetic healing centers and development of new protocols being accomplished in the city. There are other smaller cities of importance on Alderman, including the third largest city where creation in all forms occurs. Let's now discuss the Jesus Christ connection. I consider myself both a scientific and a spiritual woman. I believe in God and that many of these religious prophets did exist on earth at one time in some fashion. However, I do not consider myself religious in any way. I have no issues with any religion and have no judgments towards anyone who follows the religion of their own choosing. Each faith has good teachings and not so great teachings and practices within their established beliefs. I am simply interested in uncovering the truth, and I keep my mind open to information, even if it may contradict what we've been led to believe, or not believe for that matter. Essentially, I have no skin in the religion game. I just call it like I see it. The biblical prophet known as Jesus Christ was a real man who existed on earth about 2,000 years ago. Jesus was in an earth human being body. However, Jesus is frequently depicted in artist drawings and paintings as a tall, Caucasian man with long brown hair and a beard. He is often wearing a long white hooded robe and sandals. Jesus the man did not look exactly as he is depicted in popular culture, but he did exist to usher in a new level of spiritual understanding on earth. His teachings and divine love were intended to go far and wide and assist humanity on a massive scale. While Jesus was an earth human, his soul was an Alderman starseed. The reason he is shown in popular culture in this way, that he was crafted by the aldermen themselves. This is a nod to his soul's true origins and what the alderman energies are all about. The soul that inhabited Jesus' body is one of the grand architects of earth and remains to this day very involved with its ascension. His loving and gentle spirit remains all around us and can be called upon to assist us when needed. Moving forward with this series, you will see that there are many parallels to what we are exposed to in our popular culture and what alien beings may be responsible for. I consider it to be a slow reveal of truth through cultural norms. So what do the aldermen think of us on Earth? The aldermen as a group think fondly of us on Earth. They see Earth humans as an extension of themselves, but existing in a lower dimensional environment. They understand the importance of a place such as Earth and the bravery of those who choose to have experiences here. Presently, they come forward to Earth more intentionally, as illustrated by this video, with endless love and admiration. In closing, this is a brief introduction to this established and deeply respected ET race that we share our universe with. I hope you enjoyed learning about the Aldermans. The Aldermans are not the only alien race in our universe that is humanoid with similar bodies as we have. There are many more out there with their own unique energies and focuses. Let me know what you think in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video and want to see more content like this, kindly subscribe to the channel. Should you want to have your Akashic record read by me, the link to the website is below. In the meantime, I love you all and welcome to a higher dimension.